back. I hope you're doing great. Just before we get on with the trailer action, I know this has been a long time since I've done a trailer action, but I thought because this is the last one, you gotta kind of make the circle complete now. I'll let you know my thoughts just now before, and then we will compare that to how it is after. Right now, as you can probably tell by the videos that I've got on my channel, The Last Jedi and me are a bit of a situation, shall we say, right now. You can see my sort of love for this new story. It's kind of lost all excitement. The Last Jedi has kind of ruined a lot of things for me, and at the moment I've been having sort of the longest Star Wars break that I've ever had, purely because The Last Jedi has done so many things in the story which just ruined my hopes, which The Force Awakens set up. And looking back at that in hindsight more and more, then it kind of disappoints me more. So this trailer, I'm a tiny bit excited, purely to the fact that how on earth they're going to make a story with what was left after The Last Jedi. It's kind of, if it's going to like bypass The Last Jedi and that part, so that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, I have no idea what to expect. I am excited, don't get me wrong, it's Star Wars and it's the last one. I just really hope they pull something out of the bag here and do something great. But you've seen the videos on my channel and the more recent videos that I've been creating, you can kind of see the problems and issues that I have with Star Wars right now, how they've gone about with this new story, and the complete disrespect and lack of interest in creating a big wider picture and respecting what's previously come before it. Those are the kind of issues which I have, and people not understanding Star Wars, I don't think. Right, Johnson, a little bit. But yeah, it's a funny time right now, and for myself, I don't know about you, but The Last Jedi is embedded in my brain. It doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie. It feels like it shouldn't be there for me. It was disrespectful to characters, story plots, and everything that J.J. Abrams set up. So I'm very interested to see what J.J. Abrams is able to pull out the bag here. I watched a couple Force Awakens scenes not so long ago, and whilst I was putting together another video, which should be out soon. But yeah, I kind of, still get that Star Wars vibe from The Force Awakens. It's not perfect, but I still enjoy that film. But The Last Jedi, I just cannot. I haven't watched it since the cinema. I still can't bring myself to watch it. I'm just extremely curious to see what's going to happen in this trailer, who's going to be in it. I don't know, there's a lot of things going on in my head right now. Still tarnished by The Last Jedi, but with any further ado, let's just do this. Okay, so, ready for it? I'm ready. A little bit excited, dude. Okay. I like the music. Good tone.
We've passed on all we know.
That's good as well.
1,000 generations live in you now.
Finally, someone explains it. That's good.
But this is your fight.
Mine was Anakin and Obi-Wan. Looks really crisp. Looks very Star Wars either. This is very positive for me. And sounds it too. This is getting good. This looks good. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Oh. Yeah, this is looking good. Oh man, getting the feels, man. Finally, 3PO's in sunlight. I'm glad they've got layering with you.
No one's ever really gone.
I think it was a Death Star. No freaking way! No freaking way! They actually got Palpatine and no freaking way! Rise of I didn't even know the trailer. What the hell? I didn't even see that in the trailer title. I completely missed that. What the hell? The Rise of Skywalker. Palpatine, Sidious. What the hell? I'm like a freaking moth to a light or something. Jeez, man, Star Wars sucks me in. Yeah, so, yeah, that, trailer-wise, that was pretty great. I'm very impressed with that. It's like you watch that, and then everything that I just said at the start, Last Jedi, old news, see you later, cheerio. Yeah, quite a few things to mention in there. That was really great. The tone of that seemed really good. And there was no sort of anything in there to remind me of The Last Jedi, to be honest. There was, the only thing, there was no R2-D2 again. Where the hell is R2-D2 in these new Star Wars movies? I know BB-8's in it now, and they've got another little droid in there or something, next to BB-8, but why wouldn't you put R2 in it? He is Star Wars. I just really hope there's a lot of him in there. I want to see him interact with C-3PO. That's Star Wars. It started off like that, and I feel like somehow it should end with those two as well. I think that'd be really touching and meaningful in a way. But yeah, that was awesome, man. Freaking Palpatine. Is that legit? Like that was Palpatine's laugh, and the fact is that nothing's truly gone. So is Palpatine going to be like a Force Ghost? This is great because you're going to have endless amounts of speculation now with Palpatine from now until Christmas about theories and everything. I'm sure we're going to get a load of Mike Zero theory videos. It'd be very interesting to watch and see if any of them actually are true. The Snoke theories, it's like Snoke's gone now. Rian Johnson killed it all off, and now we're just focusing on this. And to think that Palpatine's still the puppeteer behind all of it, I kind of like that. But at the same time, I want it done in a way that doesn't be disrespectful to Darth Vader destroying Palpatine, destroying the Sith. Because I think when I was a kid, when I watched Return of the Jedi, that blue smoke or whatever came up when Darth Vader chucked Palpatine down, the Emperor down the reactor shaft thing. I always thought that was like some sort of ghost thing, sort of leaving, some dark side thing, and that could be linked in with that, with how Palpatine survived. He is a dark side Force ghost, so in reality there is no Sith, but in another realm, which is the Force, there is. They still exist there, so that's how they're going to defeat that, I don't know. But now Luke Skywalker's a Force ghost. So, see, the speculation theories start now, but you just don't have a clue. I just love the fact that they've put him in it, and it starts to feel more Star Warsy thing. I was very concerned at the start that nothing would feel Star Warsy, but everything in there. Kylo Ren was lifting up and shoves him down. The imagery of that looks great. And when he's doing his mask thing, I think that could be like a kyber crystal thing he's putting in there, so his helmet's more powerful. I like seeing stuff like that. I like having a clear objective for the characters. Rey's all dressed in white, so to me, and what Luke said, 1,000 generations now lives within you. Finally, someone sort of confirms that she's been taught something. She hasn't taught herself. And I noticed that he says, we've passed on what we've learned. And that to me says that who's the other people? Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I really hope Obi-Wan Kenobi's in there as well. And a better Yoda than we got in The Last Jedi. And also Anakin as well. That would just be amazing. With Luke, all of them there, teaching Rey, something like that. Just think about it, that will connect the whole entire Star Wars movies together, the saga, because you have all those characters, prequel, sequels, well, the originals, and the sequels as well. Make it more relevant. The title, Rise of Skywalker, I think that's a very bold but perfect choice from this, but it's kind of like, I can't help but feel the contrast between when they were saying with The Last Jedi all about letting the past go, yet everything about this trailer to me seems like it's everything to do with the past, which is making this story. I feel like this story still feels like it could have been in the middle, and you could just cut out The Last Jedi, because if you think about it, nothing really happens apart from Luke turning into a Force ghost. But nothing else really happens. It's just Kylo Ren's still the same. Rey's kind of the same. You could cut out entire massive sections of Last Jedi and insert something exciting, and it makes me feel somewhat sad that I have to say that I say that and think that, because I just really feel bad that The Last Jedi was such a waste for Lucasfilm. It could have been something great, could have been something exciting where they created something new and interesting for the First Order, something great for the Sith, something better than the Sith. They had opportunities and chances everywhere, but instead it turned into this dull, flat story where it didn't expand on anything, didn't make you interested in anything, kept disappointing you with that cursed word of subvert, or subverting expectations. And it was just such a terrible, terrible way to go about making a story for Star Wars, which is meant to be kind of the most climactic parts in the story for heroes to overcome it in the final story, this one. But this one, you feel that sort of freshness and that link with The Force Awakens, but I feel no link with The Last Jedi. So I'll be interested to see. I'm going to watch all Celebration tonight, or the first day anyway, and see what they have to say, and watch this panel, because usually I'll watch the live panel and try and get it at the same time, but I missed it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all that and how the panel was. I assume Kathleen Kennedy and everyone's going to be on there. So I'll be interested to see how that one goes. You may have seen already, and people, you might be already at Star Wars Celebration. I wish I was at Star Wars Celebration this year. It kind of really sucks that I'm not there. I tried to go to all of them, had the best time when I went last time. So I really hope that more things are going to come. I think there'll be like the Fallen Jedi, the game trailer, which I'm skeptical because EA is doing it. And I think EA is a money-grabbing, terrible company for games. Sure, they make good games, like visually and everything, but only when the fans get involved and tell them that's why you're doing that. And then they change it because they know they shouldn't have done it in the first place. That kind of thing, like the money-grabbing thing. When you buy a game, you should have the game in its full entirety. That should be it. That's how games used to be when I was younger, Star Wars games anyway. So, yeah, I'll be very interested to see how they go about doing that. Other trailers as well. I don't know if there's going to be other trailers. I think it was just this one. It was a good way to start off Celebration, I assume. So everyone must be hyped for something. But yeah, that trailer itself, I'm very intrigued. Now I'm happy. I think I'll probably watch that 100 more times and just listen to music. I think that John Williams, it sounded like he could have composed that music. He might not have, but the tone sounded really good. The story, the freshness of it looked crisp, it looked Star Warsy, had Star Wars moments in it with Lando in it as well. That was just awesome. That completely made me have the feels, because he sounds just like Lando. Like when you see him in interviews and stuff, he doesn't he doesn't have the charisma, but more the coolness in interviews. But when he's playing Lando, he has the charisma with his coolness, if that makes sense. So to see that where he's laughing there with the Chewie, I love that. But then that just kind of reminds me of, we could have had Lando and Han back together, and that could have been great fun, even with Luke as well, just seeing everyone together. But it's just, I hope they're not using these sort of legacy people just to reel you in. I'm so happy to see they've got footage in there to make a nice goodbye for Leia as well. That's going to be a really touching moment in there as well. And also the medal thing as well. I think that's the medal and the New Hope that she gives out. I could be wrong with that. Upon first class, I need more inspections, but I think that could be the medal that she's holding or something, which I think is an awesome piece as well. So little bits like that. I think usually I would imagine a J.J. Abrams teaser trailer to be more like really teasing and doesn't show you that much if you compare that to like the Force Awakens trailer. And when that first came, it was Finn breathing again, a lot of breathing in these trailers, heavy breathing, and then the Falcon flies up and a few bits and Kylo Ren walking through the woods. This one, it shows some really cool action, things that need to be said about Rey. I like that they're kind of listening to the fans and the story and what they can improve on, and Rey saying that she's got all the training in her now, so she's ready. That, it would have been cool to see all that in The Last Jedi, rather than just say it. Maybe we'll see it in this film, but that's good as well. And the imagery at the end with the Death Star and tying that all in with Palpatine to see that he could be the the master behind everything. And no one even cares about Snoke anymore. It's just eyes are focused and fixed on Palpatine, and I'm very much excited to see where they're going with that. So overall, I think that was a great, exciting trailer. I'm very happy with that. I don't know why I was so nervous at the start. So thank you, J.J. Abrams. I've got my hopes really set high for you right now, and please just do a better job than what Rian Johnson did, because he was at the brink of destroying my Star Wars dreams to me. And I think you right now have shown me shots in that which have given me hope and made it feel like Star Wars again, and made the characters of Poe, Finn, Rey feel Star Warsy, which they didn't in The Last Jedi, but just in that trailer they did for me. So that's great. Anyway, I've talked for way too long. This was only meant to be a tiny trailer reaction, but you know what happens. Star Wars gets going and I can't help talking about it. I've got videos coming up. I'm working on an Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars story. I've written an entire plot. It's very exciting. I think there's going to be things in there which you're going to love about the story. I've composed music for it. I've got part 1. It's going to be in 3 sections, I think. I've got part 1 complete already, and someone's already working on the imagery for it, so there's like visual things for you to see with the story. It would be really cool, and I think this is respectful to everything about Star Wars, and includes things in there which just ties up the prequels, sequels, whilst adding in new things there as well. So I'm working on that. I've been working on that since October, November time I started writing that, and it's just been quite a long process. But in between that, still more videos working on, like my last one, the lightsaber one. I'm focusing on something this time. So that should be out for you guys soon. Let me know all your thoughts about this trailer. I'm dying to know what you think. Honestly, I expect some of you were probably a bit like me, where at the start you was a bit like, bit nervous, but now it's, after that you kind of set in Star Wars mode again still, and you could return back to Star Wars, which I will be, and probably watching everything Star Wars again. It's going to be Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. So anyway, don't know what you think about, let me know down below. Don't forget to join us here in Skyman Universe, subscribe to my channel for more videos, hit the notification bell to be notified for all my future uploads. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Hope everything's great with you, take care of yourself, and remember, the Force will be with you always.